Welcome to the Startup Support Surgery podcast, where we light the entrepreneurial spark in medics and healthcare professionals. Join me, Dr. Jo Watkins, GP, business coach and co-founder of The How People, on a journey to discover where your medical know-how meets the business world. This will help you find some clarity on how to balance work, passions and family so that you can gain more freedom and control over your life, but also continue to help people, which is actually why most of us went into medicine to start with. Embarking on this entrepreneurial adventure is not easy. It is a roller coaster of emotions, but it's hugely rewarding and exciting in the process. Drawing on my 20 years of blending medicine and business as a GP, I am here to share experiences, insights and lessons. Expect lively chats, expert interviews and real-life stories from medics who have taken their own path. Let's break free from traditional healthcare norms and explore more innovative ways of making a real difference to people's health and well-being, along with paving the way for a brighter future for us as healthcare professionals. Oh, don't miss my free PDF called From Stethoscope to Startup, which is an 11-page guide in the show notes full of practical help and advice. This is your roadmap to kickstarting your journey with us. Enjoy the show. Welcome to this special summer series of the Startup Support Surgery podcast. Over the next 6 weeks, instead of my usual interviews, I'm sharing 6 short client stories from people I've had the absolute pleasure of working with over the last few years. And this time, I've deliberately taken myself out of the interviewing seat. The wonderful Liu Batchelor, who I first met back in the pre-COVID days when we were planning live events around the country for the How People, has interviewed each of my clients, asking them how they found me, what was going on for them at the time, what they were struggling with, what we worked on, and more importantly, what actually changed. I can try and tell you until the cows come home, but I think the best way to understand what it's actually like to work with me and be part of the Startup Support Surgery program is to hear this directly from people who've been through this journey themselves. Liu now offers client story interviews like this to other businesses too. So if you'd like somebody to help capture your clients' stories in this way, take a look at her details in the show notes. I really hope you enjoy these conversations. Now let's get into this week's client story. Today's client story episode is with Dr. Emma Presern, founder of Rebellious Health and one of the founding members of the Startup Support Surgery program. When Emma and I first met, she was really interested in one-to-one coaching and had the beginnings of an idea. But as you will hear, joining the program gave her much, much more than the business knowledge. It gave her the confidence, support and community that she needed to start putting that idea out into the world. Emma went on to create her own group program supporting doctors experiencing burnout and those wanting to do things a little differently. Emma has been an absolute pleasure to work with, and within a few months of meeting, we were organising a retreat together in the foothills of North Wales with all the other founding members, and she's become a dear friend ever since. Here is Emma's client story.
My name's Emma Presern. I am was a GP by background, but I have segued and transitioned into doing a lot of my own work now. I support other healthcare professionals who might be suffering with burnout, feeling quite disillusioned with the current state of things, or are just a little bit forward thinking and wanting to do things differently within a supportive community. So I run group projects, retreats through my company Rebellious Health. And a few other things alongside that, but that's sort of the main.
How did you come to get to know Jo and get involved with her program?
I was feeling that this was my path after finished GP training. I had an inkling of what I wanted to do, but I had no idea how to do that. You know, we don't get taught how to start businesses in medical school. It's something completely alien to us. So I had a bit of an idea of what I wanted to do for the last few years, but I really didn't know where to turn, how to start. And I think I just came across Jo on Facebook, I think, and something about her messaging just reached out to me. She was another GP who had started her own businesses, who was managing this lifestyle of a bit of GP, running her own thing, looking after her kids, traveling all over the world. And I was like, yeah, that seems like the sort of life I'd love to create. So reached out to her and we had our first meeting, and I just sort of knew it clicked from then.
Okay, let's delve a little bit more into what was the challenge, and you, how did that show up for you, and what was like the negative impact it was having on you as a result?
The negative impact of not knowing what to do when you have an idea is just total paralysis of where do I start? What do I do? Do I build a website? Do I start talking to people? It was completely all new to me. I was Googling starting your own business, and it feels quite lonely and you're a bit lost for what to do. And then it becomes very daunting and you're like, is this cut out for me? It's so different to the medical world, and kind of, we've been on a bit of a conveyor belt, I suppose, through our career, and this is your next step and this is your next step. So this was totally new, and it just felt daunting to do it on your own, and thought, if I do this on my own, it's going to take a really long time to get anywhere, and I probably will fail. So I knew I needed support. I knew I wanted support. And I thought that coaching would give me a good insight into some of the things I would need to know to start my own business. And that's how I ended up meeting Jo. Originally, I wanted to do one-to-one work. I wasn't very good in groups, and I thought actually maybe I need that kind of confidence building that one-to-one work would give me. But actually, I found it was completely the opposite, and I actually joined Jo's group program. So was completely surprised, but also not surprised that actually that environment was so much more conducive to sort of helping me get started, get going, and running, the first Rebellious Health projects.
Can you tell me a little bit more about the program, what it involved, what you did?
I joined her 1-year cohort. The Startup Surgery supports us with a bunch of other amazing clinicians who are all kind of on the same journey as me, different stages. Some had already started their business, some were completely brand new, some just had a little idea. And it's a really, really great way of kind of learning things, because you've got modules that Jo has sort of gone through, which made all that sort of dauntedness of where do I start just feel like it made a lot more sense. So she goes through it really systematically, and actually kind of back to the beginnings, go back to, why are you really doing this? What's your why, and who do you really want to help? Even though you might have an idea, what I really found valuable was taking it right back to, do you actually really know? And doing a lot of work around that to make sure that you're going down the right path for you. There were modules, and then every week there's live coaching calls. So with the group, there's community sessions, and there's always WhatsApp support, which was really, really invaluable throughout the program. So there's so much in that 12-month program. I learned so much, and I definitely would not be where I am today without Jo's support.
What were the key light bulb moments for you, or the key learnings or the key insights that just went, oh my God, everything's changed and shifted everything for you?
I think some of the key light bulb moments were the sort of the why and the who, because I think we get so bogged down in website, branding, all this sort of things that you actually really don't need at all to start the business. So for me, it was that kind of deep insight and exploration into who do I really want to help? Because I had a vague idea, but I actually didn't know originally that it was healthcare professionals. Doing the kind of deeper exercises and really thinking about who you are sitting in front of was the light bulb moment for me in terms of narrowing down to the community I now serve. And it makes so much sense now, but I hadn't thought that my clients would be healthcare professionals originally. So that was one. And I think the other thing is the community aspect. That definitely you can do one-to-one coaching with Jo, and I did some one-to-one, but I really benefited from that community support. The women on the program all supporting each other. If someone had an issue with something, there's always someone to kind of bounce ideas off, come back with feedback. And we all sort of get it. We get where we're coming from, what we're trying to do. amongst our busy lives, whatever they may be. So there's always that emotional support and connection, which was, really actually what I needed, even though when I first met Joe, I was like, I just want one-to-one. So that was a light bulb moment for me. It was like the community was everything.
And what was the impact for you? I guess let's kind of do it as a part A and a part B. Part A being kind of for your business, what was the impact? And part B, what was the impact for you personally as an entrepreneur, as a professional?
I guess the impact being on Joe's program for me professionally moving forward is that there's no way I would have got to where I had in the time that I did. I really kind of dove headfirst into the program, into the modules, and just Joe's famous line of just get scrappy really was like, okay, because we have a tendency to be a bit perfectionist sometimes. And I realized if I didn't kind of do that with Joe's support, that it would probably, take me 2 years, 3 years to be like, okay, you're ready now. So the impact was massive because I think I started in January and by May, I was already running my first community group project. So in 5 months, it really helped me build that confidence to just get out there, speak to people, run webinars, have my first, paying clients sign up to a group project. And I know that I wouldn't have done that without that support from the program. So I guess from a professional point of view, it gives you that confidence to just go for it, knowing that there's support and knowing that you don't have to be perfect. You just have to get started. The impact that it's had on me is that it's giving me the freedom to live the life that I really want to in terms of a work-life balance. I support burnt out healthcare professionals, and I mainly do that because I have very lived experience of that myself. I know that full-time general practice isn't for me anymore, sadly. And I want, this work I find so rewarding. It gives me that freedom to not have to work full-time in the NHS, but to really be creative, I think, and put my kind of experience into something creative, connected with lots of people, and hopefully help people through their own journey too. Lots of freedom, I think, is the main impact it's had on me.
What's next for you now as a result?
We've actually run 2 projects and we've run a retreat as well, which was amazing. It was really a beautiful kind of culmination of some of the projects, and having people in real life all connect together through the program was amazing. And I think, what's next? There'll definitely be a continuation for Rebellious Health in terms of some of the work we do, the projects. But the other thing that the program, I think, really helped me with is to just become more confident at connecting with people. So like-minded professionals. I'd never been on LinkedIn and, I just went for it. And I've met so many incredible people through, I guess you'd call it networking, but I like to use the word connecting, that it just leads to opportunities. And so through doing that and feeling confident, through the program, I've met some amazing people doing incredible things. And I've started working with another similar renegade GP on a holistic community wellness project. So, I wouldn't have been able to have that opportunity if I hadn't done Joe's program, because the reason I got that is because I spoke about Rebellious Health at a conference where Karen, my co-director of this new project, was speaking about her project. It just led to so many opportunities, and very, very grateful. So what's next? There's no kind of fixed thing, but just a continuation of everything I've started through SUS and the work that I'm doing now.
What would you say to anyone else, another healthcare professional that's in a similar situation where you were a bit over a year ago?
I would say to any healthcare professional who's where I was, maybe you've got a seed of an idea or you've got a bit more of an established idea, but you're feeling a little bit lost and alone on what to do and how to do it, is to just go for it in terms of getting support from something like Joe's program, because the learning and the modules are invaluable, but that community support is really what I needed. And it's what many of us think we don't need. I think many of us actually want to just have the one-to-one coaching and just get on with it, or that we can do it ourselves. But actually, that's what I would say, is just do it. The connections you make are invaluable. The support you get is invaluable. And it really, really, I think, will just give you the inspiration to plant that seed and actually see it germinate.
What would you say is the biggest value if you had to bottle and you had to kind of summarize what the program has been and what the support has been? What would you say is the biggest thing?
The biggest thing is, I think Jo's ability to create community is just wonderful. She just has a way that brings us all together, and it really gives, connection room to grow. So that's the thing that I would bottle from Jo's program, is that community support and connection. And just everyone is just real. I know that's a strange thing to say, but we all understand each other's positions. We're all just trying to live life in a way where we don't burn out, but we are able to be creative with our ideas, use our gifts in ways that we may not have been able to before because we were in a system. And so all of it, I'd bottle all of it, but I'd say probably the community and Jo's ability to kind of bring everyone together.
What would you say to other members of your cohort, maybe watching this, that you got to share that journey with? Is there anything you'd like to say to them?
Yeah, I'm just so grateful to have made such wonderful connections. I'm still friends with a lot of them, and it's been so kind of magical and inspiring to watch everyone's growth and journeys and see what they're doing now. And just in such a short space of time, really, people really grow and blossom. At the beginning, we all sat there sort of nervously thinking, can we do this? Can we really put ourselves out there? I would just say I'm so grateful to have met you all through the program. And it's definitely led to sort of, ongoing, lasting relationships and connections.
What would you like to say to Jo, and any other final words or comments you'd like to make that I haven't already asked?
I'd just like to thank Jo for kind of giving me the courage and the belief that I wasn't finding in myself. Jo is an incredible support, mentor, coach. She just has that ability to understand what it is that you are wanting to bring into the world and really support you getting there in her very unique way and style. I just would want to say thank you to Jo, because I really, really would not be where I am today if I hadn't reached out for that first call in December a couple of years ago.
I hope this episode has sparked some new ideas or challenged your thinking. Transitioning from medicine to business is not easy. It's about adapting our skills while embracing the unknowns of entrepreneurship. It can be nerve-wracking, but remember, you are not alone on this journey. Please feel free to reach out to me via direct message on LinkedIn or Instagram, or just shoot me an email at jo@bendylegs.com for support. And don't forget to grab the free PDF from the show notes, From Stethoscope to Startup, which is your go-to guide and resource for diving into entrepreneurship. Many thanks for tuning in. I will see you next time. Thanks for spending your precious time with me.
This has been a Monkey Pants Productions podcast.